Watch Transit TV right now.
I'm Tochku Michael. Keep watching Transit TV.
If Bayern Munich had gone into first half with a goal lead, obviously it was going to be a different game for Aston. This guy is scoring blinders. This guy is scoring goals that can compete for goal of the season. Today again, he made Transit TV, welcome back again to our studios, the Champions League coverage for this day 2 continuation of the games, and we have some very interesting results today coming in. You can obviously Liverpool winning at home today 2-0, and Aston Villa doing unthinkable, 1-goal win at the Villa Park against Bayern Munich. Real Madrid losing as well away to Lille of France, and the biggest of them all was Atletico Madrid losing 4-0 against Benfica in Portugal. Yes, and but today we're going to look at the game that is going to be the focus, is Aston Villa at home to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, you remember, were finalists last season against semi-finalists last season against Real Madrid. It's company taking over that team. Have been doing brilliantly well in the Bundesliga, but today they lost to Aston Villa. Unai Emery is a coach that has a very big reputation in Europe, especially the Europa League, winning it, I think, record 5 or 6 times when he was in Spain. So it was always going to be a tricky one for Bayern Munich. Now this is a mismatch in 2 ways. Very experienced coach in Europe against a rookie in Emery versus the same company. Then the team Bayern Munich, Syria winners in Europe against Aston Villa. They've won it before, but they've not been in Europe since the 80s. So it's also going to be a very tricky one both ways. One would think that the experience of a big club like Bayern Munich will take the day, but of course Unai Emery took today with his very astute applications and drill of his team. Yeah, I'm going to dive into this one and see some talking points into it. But before we do that, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to this channel. Please like and share, and of course let me know your thoughts about this game as well and some of these talking points. The first talking point, I have a question. The question is, do referees kind of favor big teams? Sometimes it looks like some decisions you see, sometimes you'll be wondering if it was the other way around, the referee go that way. The first talking point in this game was Upamecano. Bayern Munich kept a very high line, and Aston Villa approached this game in a very cautious manner. They tried to soak up pressure and attack when they can, and not necessarily parking the balls, but they were very, very cautious defensively and try to hit Bayern on a counter, or when they see spaces, play through the lines. And one of those occasions, there was an instance where they broke through, and a true pass was given to Oli Watkins, and Upamecano was out of place, was out of position, and fouled Watkins. Watkins was through on goal. As much as I know, unless anybody out there knows better, let me know. That was going to be a red card because this guy was through on goal. But for me was the last man. I don't know what the argument was. If they're going to say the other defenders from the sides were covering, there was nobody covering. The referee gave a yellow card, and I didn't hear nothing about that. VAR did not revisit it. There was, the commentator didn't say much about it. So sometimes it looks like there is a conspiracy against, so to say, smaller teams. So for me, that was a very, very huge talking point, because at that point, if Upamecano had gotten a red card, of course Villa eventually won the game. But I feel that they would have given them some very, very good advantage, and it would have been a lot easier for them going into the game. But good 18, they still won the game. Then sometimes too, the second point is Gnabry's miss. Sometimes when you have a lot of, you know, big players in your team, it becomes a problem, like what's happening in Real Madrid right now. Players, everybody's chasing to have a good numbers, good starts for the season. So sometimes they become selfish. Gnabry was true on goal, and all he needed was just slide that ball across the post for Ken to tap in, and he went solo and blasted the ball over the net, holding his head for Bennett and in the first half. And like they say, little margins, and we know that goals change the landscape of games. You know, if Bayern Munich had gone into first half with a goal lead, obviously it was going to be a different game for Aston Villa. They will come out to play. It will have made this game, it will have completely changed the complexion of this game. Aston Villa probably can still come out and win, but it was going to be a different approach. And Gnabry put his team in a very difficult situation in that situation right there, and they ended up losing the game. So sometimes these players, they need to put the team's interest above their personal interest. For me right there, that was a professional way of applying yourself around. Those kind of chances don't come out that big, especially against a team like Aston Villa who are well drilled, and you manage to open them up in that manner. You should be able to make the most out of it, and in that situation right there, Gnabry failed to do so, and I believe that cost Bayern Munich a lot in this game. And I want to talk about Oli Watkins. I know in EPL and in the few episodes I've been saying that John Durham should take over, or has not done enough to become the first choice in the team. But I took my time to watch Oli Watkins today. Oli Watkins, I think he still deserves to be a starter. The way he holds up play, how he has improved technically on the ball, and you know, against big teams like this, Aston Villa approaches the game in a cautious manner, so they need their up man to be able to, you know, hold up play and bring others into the game. I think the Watkins have been doing that very well, and at the same time he has the ability to run in behind defenders, and he does that very well, and he has been scoring goals as well. So I think the Watkins deserves more respect than he's getting. I believe so. I don't know what more he needs to do that. I think Aston Villa, we are very lucky to have kept him this summer, and I don't know his contract situation. If there's anything they need to do before the season ends, Oli Watkins needs to be tied down to a long contract in Aston Villa. Otherwise, I won't be surprised if I see teams like Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea, you know, sweeping around. Not even till summer, they might even come around this January, because he is really doing very, very well. He has really improved. He's one of the most improved strikers in Europe right now, scoring goals, holding up play, having improved technically, and he's a player that doesn't go around with too much drama around him. He stays professional, very respectful guy, approaches the game with the you know, required mindset and temperament. That's the word I'm looking for, you know. So yeah, the Watkins has really improved. I'm really impressed with him. And for Bayern Munich today, there was never a time they had this game, or they had a lot of possessions, of course, had a lot of passes by default, but something was lacking. There was no cutting edge. There was never a time they were really in control. And one of the things I figured that is part of it is Kimmich. You remember Lampard recently said, Ballack recently said that he was a world class playing as a right back, but as a midfielder that is not been a world class number 6 for Bayern. And I completely agree with this. I was watching Kimmich today, the modern day deep lying playmaker for teams. You are not going to be all over the pitch. It's a positional position in the team. The use of space and your ability to anticipate opponents, breakaways against your team, turnovers, and helping out teams and your ability to to bring calmness in that midfield in your team and also initiate attacks. Kimmich, wonderful player, but I was watching him today. He was too mobile for that position. He was all over the place. Sometimes he's even ahead or the same line with the movement of the ball. If you are a 6, for me, I believe you should be a little bit behind the attack so that you are the triangle. You build a natural triangle for your team. From the left, they can come back to you. From the right, they can come back to you. In the middle, they come back to you. You spread left, you spread right, you spread in the middle. You walk that way. But Kimmich was always up and down the pitch, and it caused a few imbalance in that midfield for Bayern Munich, and that's why a lot of times Aston Villa, the central defenders were exposed so many times because there was no that figure was not there for them. So I think this is something that company needs to fix. If Kimmich is too mobile for that position, he probably will need to find somebody. He is good coming in as an inverted fullback. I don't think as a deep line playmaker, I don't think he has the qualities to play that role for Bayern Munich. So let me know what you think about that. I don't know if you have paid attention to that, and if you have not, watch that game again and see the positioning of Kimmich in that game. I don't think he did Bayern Munich any good. And yes, I don't know what happened in this one. The lineups came out. Musiala didn't start. He came in the second half toward the end of the game and couldn't really stamp his authority. I don't know why he was dropped on this one, but yeah, that's my observation with Kimmich, and one of the key things that probably affected the outcome of this game for Bayern Munich. And then let's go to John Duran. This young man never starts again for Aston Villa. Comes in, gets his goals, guaranteed, and he is not scoring tap-ins. He's not scoring, guaranteed goals. This guy is scoring blinders. This guy is scoring goals that can compete for goal of the season. Today again, he made mess of a goalkeeper of high repute, the Bayern Munich goalkeeper. Next, I almost jumped off my seat, man. To what is this? This boy keeps scoring, and Aston Villa almost lost him in the summer to West Ham. I believe right now that was the best thing that could happen to Aston Villa and to him himself as a player. That's why sometimes players need to be very careful with all this moving from one club to another, and trying to cash out extra money here and there. I think staying back at Aston Villa has been good for him. I hope he also understands that playing right now as a substitute to the Watkins is also good for him and for the team eventually, because when you watch both of them, yes, he's a strong, powerful player, but I don't think he does hold up play more than on the Watkins. And the Watkins, and maybe one of the reasons why he's scoring his goals, the Watkins comes in, wears down defenders, and he comes in with a different animal to the defenders, and it makes it difficult for them to contain him, and he gets his goals. So I think man of the match, though he only put 25 or 28 minutes in this game, John Thuram, I give him man of the match because that his goal, the quality of that goal, the importance, and again 3 points. You can't ask for anything better as a player on a day, in a Champions League day like this. So John Thuram, I give him man of the match, and I pray and hope you continue to do what you're doing. Emi Martins is another very, very, very important player for Aston Villa, and today again he was very key to these 3 points. As much as you want to criticize Bayern Munich, they still created chances. They had a few chances and they should have scored. Emi Martins came up with one very big save towards the end of that game, and that made ensure that Aston Villa went home with 3 points today. So yeah, Emi Martins had a very fantastic game today, continues to be an important player for Aston Villa, and you can only hope that he stays fit during the stoppage time. His normal antics, no one could not trust if he really had an hamstring scare or he was doing his normal things that he does. I hope that was not a hamstring. If it was, then Aston Villa might be without him for 3 weeks, and you know how crucial that could be to the team. And lastly, I want to commend Unai Emery. This man, like him or hate him, and why would you even hate Unai Emery? He's a pleasant fellow. He's respectful to people, to fans, to players. He's a tactical genius. He knows how he drills his team very well. Knows how to structure his teams, and especially against big teams. And he did that today again, and got his win. So kudos to Unai Emery. Congrats to him. He's doing big things in Aston Villa. Aston Villa all of a sudden is again a very strong name or team to go against in EPL and in Europe. Winning Bayern Munich in Champions League, whether home or away, is in no way a small feat to achieve. So kudos to Unai Emery. Like I said in the beginning, we had some very interesting results today. Aston Villa, Atletico Madrid going away to Benfica losing 4-0. I don't know how we had to place that. I think that's the most surprising result of the week. The Real Madrid, the current holders, losing to Lille of France 1-0 away from home. You can say it's away from home, but Real Madrid should not be losing to Lille, and this is what football does for you. If you watch that game, because I kept my eye on that game as well. Lille gave them trouble and stay strong defensively. It looks like the modern day football now. If you are ready to defend as a team, you give yourself a chance to win. For a club like Real Madrid, with the area of stars, Vinicius Junior and all of them, Jude Bellingham, Mbappe coming in as a sub after his little muscle scare the last weeks, could not rescue any points for Real Madrid. Still, kudos to Lille as well. Another big win out there in the Champions League this week. Liverpool continued their very strong start under Arne Slot, winning 2-0 against Bologna. And yeah, it was an interesting game. Liverpool are doing, like I said, I call them slow and steady. They're not doing anything out of this world. But one thing in that game that you're going to go and watch that goal, Mohamed Salah again coming through for Liverpool, scoring a very, very special goal. What could be one of the most special goals of this round? Very, very good goal, and they also made the first one. So Salah, I'll continue to say it, and I'll continue to say it. Salah is the main man for Liverpool. Liverpool, I know this is his last season in his contract. Liverpool should do everything possible to renew him, to keep this man in the club for another 2 years, because he is just, if he's not scoring, he's assisting, and if he's not doing any of these two, Liverpool struggle to score goals, struggle to win games. Yeah, these are some of the games that were played today in the second day of week 2 in Champions League. I can give you the remaining results. Feyenoord went away and won Girona 3-2. If you're an Arsenal fan out there, Jordan Timber's brother plays for Feyenoord, and yeah, they won that one 3-2 away from home. And let's see the next games. Let me read them. Shakhtar Donetsk lost at home to Atalanta 3-0. Aston Villa, of course, won Bayern Munich at home 1-0. Benfica beating Atletico Madrid 4-0. Dynamo Zagreb and Monaco had a 2-2 draw. Lille beating Real Madrid 1-0. Liverpool winning 2-0 to Bologna. RB Leipzig losing 2-3 to Juventus, and Storm Graz losing at home to Club Brugge. So these are the results for today. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section about this, especially the Aston Villa win, and of course Lille beating Real Madrid, and what's the other game? Atletico Madrid losing surprisingly 4-0 to Benfica. So let me know what you think as we move tomorrow to the Conference League and the remaining Champions League. I'll see you.